Hello, hello, and welcome. It looks like my camera is very, very delayed. I'm just, yeah, I think I'm very, very delayed here. This is, we're,
Welcome
we're,
back.
yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. I don't know what it sounds like on air, but I hope it's good, and maybe I gotta restart. But my name is Orbital. With me is Camcom, and we are here with the NECC mainstream. We're gonna be bringing you hopefully some amazing action here. I'm very, very excited, and we do apologize for being a little bit late. We'll get things going.
We will get things going for not game one, number one, series number one for tonight. We have Columbia College taking on York Black. This is in the Legends division. I'm Camcom, of course. Orbital's over there. He's just like 5 seconds in the past or something. Don't know why. But draft has already been completed, so we can take a sneak peek here at the draft for our best of three for tonight. Here you go.
Hopefully going to be a good time here. I'm very, very excited. As you can see, Columbia College drafting fairly stock here. These are a little bit more basic on Columbia College. This is a tried and true, Caitlyn, Lux, and then J4 as well in the jungle, rolling out a lot of that heavy DPS from that jungle role if you want to go Assassinate or just the CC in general. And then the Ornn in the top side with the Syndra on the bottom mix as the Orion was picked up on the other side. But for York, we are running, this is what I like to call the brand new style, the Cho'Gath coming out here. I love this. Cho'Gath Senna making its return in the bot lane. I'm very, very excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, this entire York squad really is just like a death ball, like run at you, like team fight kind of style. And then there's the Camille R5 for, I'm gonna call it some split push insurance policies. If the team fighting is not going well on, let's say, the dragon side, then Camille can be up on the top side, split pushing, having a good old time on the other side of the map. And I would say very well-rounded comp here from York. Like you say, has some little bit of that, like, I guess, new dark, what is it? Like dark star, dark energy type of the bot lane. If you haven't seen this bot lane before, then it is going to be, in theory, you would call it Cho'Gath AD carry, Senna support, where Senna is fasting Senna, and Cho'Gath is going to be the one actually taking the minions, of course, but it is a very strange lane. You don't really have a laning phase with this lane. It's a very play safe during laning phase with play for scaling. It's a very high scaling lane, but it can be punished quite heavily, and Lux Caitlyn is going to be very easy to punish it with.
I mean, York understood this was going to happen, right? Let's make sure to get this clear. They saw the Caitlyn, knew the Lux was open, and still picked the Cho'Gath Senna. So that shows a lot of gumption from York saying, we know this is going to be rough. We know this is going to be a very rough bot lane, but we're going to play it out and say we are going to play safe. So they are sacrificing, gently I say, because there can be some spice with that Vi in the jungle. They are willing to put themselves on a weak side on the bot lane in hopes that the other lanes can get rolling. Of course, the other lanes are a little bit more just stock standard. The Orianna in the mid lane is seen as that all-around champion. Orianna doesn't really excel at anything too much except being very, very annoying. The damage output is okay. Trading is okay. Clear, okay. Follow up on ganks, okay. Right? Everything is okay. Yeah. With the Vi, it does become better, but the Vi has to be in there. What you're looking at is the Camille in the top side, being that last bit, giving a lot of power to the top.
Plenty of power for the top side. Maybe York picked the Cho'Gath early on. I'm gonna call it as a flex for support in top lane. I've seen a couple Cho'Gaths mid recently as well. I think my own college mid has picked Cho'Gaths recently for some reason, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say they probably did pick the Cho'Gaths, intending for it to fully go support, but they saved it for as long as possible because the Camille was picked last. And just to throw to some quick predictions here, Orbital, just based on draft, no player names, no team names, no any player plates or anything like that, who do you think can win this game one for now?
I think both of them really can, right? Both of them do have the synergy and the composition, right? If you're looking at York, it is a little bit of a death ball composition. Leading the charge is going to be that Vi Camille diving in, and you have good follow-up, right? You have the Senna if stacked up, and the Orianna Shockwave will be destructive. The problem is actually getting on to Columbia College. You have the Ornn and the J4 in front that are going to be either breaking down the team fight, and you have a lot of disengage on their end as well. So Columbia College drafting a much heavier siege and disengage composition, with the light binding as well as the scout of the week and then the Ornn Horn. There's so much to stall out York that you are banking on that, the Vi Ultimate and the Camille Hextech Ultimatum. I'm still going to lean into Columbia College, though. This is mostly because, number one, I enjoy seeing the siege compositions, and also, Syndra's my girl. I spam Syndra all the time, so I'm going to give it to Columbia.
Okay, giving it to Columbia on the blue side. I think I may just be inclined to agree with you. I really just like the Caitlyn Lux bot lane. I think it has plenty of safety in the early game. You should always be able to, in theory, win with a Caitlyn Lux, which is why you like to pick the Caitlyn Lux type of combo. But I haven't gotten to see a whole lot of Ornns recently. I think Ornn is very much not in the same high S tier that he once was, a couple months ago. It was the Ornn picker ban meta. Now he has fallen a little bit out. I would still say he's probably high B tier, maybe low A tier kind of thing, but he's just not at the same presence that he once was. And top laners will not pick this champion. I have learned this from playing on many teams myself. They will not pick this champion unless you can convince them he is the best champion in the meta. So he's still a pretty good champion. It's just, if you can't convince top laners he's not the best, then it is quite hard to make them willingly pick this champion. It does look like we are currently paused in the game, which is the reason for a little bit of a longer timer, so we can just continue to talk about predictions, continue talking about drafts. I will try to fix this. Give me a second.
Yeah, we do know that I'm only coming through the left here. There are various reasons for that, but the number one is because I'm cheap. No, this is we'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed, and at the same time, I will gently remind everyone that there are going to be other series here tonight. We do really want to emphasize that. We have coming up later on is going to be Park University Pirates versus CSUDH Cardinal over there in the Challengers Pacific Frontier Division. That one is also going to be quite fun, as both teams do have 2 wins under their belt and are looking to chase a few more. I know CSUDH Cardinals are currently sitting at a 2-2 record, and Park University Pirates are sitting at a 2-0, and that can even lead me back to the statement that both of these teams, Columbia College and York University Black, are also sitting on a 2-0 as well. Now, granted, a couple matches have not been submitted just yet, so we're making sure to get that as quickly as possible for you. But it's going to be a very good time. I'm very, very excited to see what these two teams can bring out. And I expect them to play at a very high level. I got the chance to see York University, I want to say, all the way back either week 2? I want to say week 2 or week 1. Either that or it was week 3. I don't know. I've cast them before here in this season, and they were a very enjoyable team to be able to watch. So I'm very excited.
I will be joining you in that game from behind the scenes, making sure that you can at least maybe see and hear the game. I'm going to bring it back to our beautiful faces now. Da-da-da. That's your song transition. I don't have... No, Orbital, you have casted with me, I think, one time with me producing. I always make sound effects on transitions, so you're going to have to get used to this real quick. I produced and casted within a group for an entire 8-week split section. I had a new sound effect for every single week. I was so proud of myself, because the transition obviously never changed. It's the same transition week to week, but you got to come up with these sound effects. That's what really makes these transitions very, I don't know, very high quality, high tech here. We talked about predictions, talked about future matches. This is my new favorite question to ask, Orbital. What is your least favorite champion in the meta right now?
Oh, in the meta. Oh, I hate the fact. Now, granted, okay, are you talking about meta in solo queue, or are we talking about we're talking about high quality competitive gameplay here?
This is a champion that you think would be played tonight realistically, but you will absolutely hate to see it kind of thing. Okay.
So there's a multitude of reasons for that.
Okay.
I'm going to say, so there's multiple reasons to hate it. And, you can hate it because you just hate the champion or you just hate certain things about it. I'm going to say LeBlanc. Mostly
Okay.
because I love LeBlanc and I love the changes that currently went down with the 13.5 changes. And that is the thing. 13.5 is currently live. She just recently got a very nice quality of life, which might be a massive buff, in my opinion. Her Q actually refunds 100% of the mana and gives back 30% CD. And it is a very, very nice buff because that's one of the huge things is her wave clear was always an issue. Now, why am I going to be sad? Is because one of two reasons. Number one is right now I still don't think she's actually going to be super viable. So as much as she's going to be picked, it's not going to be a good time. And number two, if she is picked, I'm going to be very sad to watch her lose. That's the other side of it, right? Like I'm going to be like, oh man, my LeBlanc just lost. So I really like the champion. I've always enjoyed LeBlanc, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. If it's played, I mean, we get a taste of it. But again, I don't think it's going to be amazing. And if I see my girl lose, I'm going to be super sad. So that is the one champion that I think could be seen today, and it might seem in the meta. But again, that's just me.
Okay, might seem in the meta, but not actually in the meta.
Yeah, that did not answer your question at all. I realize that now.
Yes.
I'm very good about that. Woo!
I'm gonna think of a champion. What champion do I not want to see?
Oh.
By the way, the only player that I've actually seen pick LeBlanc in a recent competitive game was my mid laner, who picked my mid laner being the mid laner. I always say my mid laner. Nobody knows who that is. I play on the Ball State team. Like the Ball State collegiate mid laner on my team picked LeBlanc in our ESC match. I think not last week, but the week before. That's like the only mid laner that I've seen pick LeBlanc recently. This is not working.
Oh no. Let me.
Okay, we've gone through 4 different letters of Yalfa now, by the way. What letter is next? I don't know.
What? All right. Well, let me actually answer the question that you gave before. Now that I have a better idea, right? Because my brain does not want to work. I'm gonna say Varus. Varus has been seen as the answer a lot of the time in the bot side, and I will say I hate Varus. Number one, because the champion feels very slow to me, and I understand that, or I wouldn't say slow, but I don't like the range, number one, and whenever I get to see the arrow, I want punch behind it, so I miss the lethality builds a lot of the time. I love seeing lethality come out. I love seeing the one-shot. Right now, most of the time, you are running that shred build or AP for the burst, right? Lethality has fallen out a little bit, so I am sad, and I do just not like it in terms of... I also like Caitlyn on the other side, too, and considering Varus is known as the answer to Caitlyn, I'm just like... Get out of here, Varus, please. What are we laughing at, Cam? What are we laughing at? Come on, give me a heads up about this. Am I just wrong? Or is my analysis bad? There's a reason I'm a play-by-play.
I just think you can't hate Varus in the meta right now.
What? No. You did ask. You did not. That is not what you said. This was my personal opinion. This is what I wanted to say.
You can have a personal opinion. You could just be wrong about your opinion. That's
okay true. But that's not what you asked.
You have a bad opinion. I'm sorry, and I have gone through fair. Every single letter now, so I don't have another solution. Let's go through another question. Yes, I have plenty of questions on my sleeve. Yes. Words are hard tonight. Ball State is playing the final game of our regular season. I would like you to guess our current score. I'm gonna test you on the knowledge of my own school right now.
I don't.
I've tweeted 3 times about them in the past week. This is a quiz on Twitter and my school.
Oh no, this is also like the older millennial coming out of me. I don't even check that half the time. Gosh dang it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So you want me to guess what score you guys are currently at, like series score? Okay. Do I get a hint? Do I get to know what week you're currently in, or is this?
We are on round 13.
Holy crap! Round 13? What the heck?
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna go on the high side. I'm gonna say you guys are. Oh wait, you're on week 13, so you have not played your week 13 match?
We're playing week 13 in 10 minutes.
Oh dear. Okay. I'm going to say. Okay. I'm gonna say you guys are 9-3.
Okay. You got a good guess there. You're a little off on the 3.
That's 12 though, isn't it?
We are correct, 12-0 right now. Thank you very much.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! There we go.
I gotta plug our squad right now. They're absolutely crushing USC. I'm on a collegiate stream. I wouldn't usually plug Ball State, but like, come on, they're just crushing it right now. Undefeated through the entire season, dropped literally one game, like one single
awesome.
game across 13 rounds. I guess 12 rounds now, but 13 rounds.
There we go. There we go. That's awesome.
That's pretty good. Oh wait. Oh, I got a new letter. Wrong letter. And an E now.
We're trying. We're trying our best over here. Again, to those that are currently tuning in, we appreciate your patience and thank you so much for kicking it with us here. Because I know it's spring break, like you were talking about, right, Cam? We're having some fun here. We're enjoying our time, and again, the teams that are also showing up and giving us a good show. We hope to get this figured out. So we are going to go to a short break. We do apologize for my terrible knowledge. There's a reason why no one asked me any questions that I get to ask the questions, because my opinion's wrong. My information is just brutally awful, and Cam's just going to keep making fun of me. So we'll go to a quick break. We'll hopefully be right back. Okay, listen, we're going to talk about this later. All right, we're good to go. Just we'll be right back.
All right.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. We do apologize for the delay. We appreciate you all sticking around and, hanging in there with us. We
Welcome
did have a
back.
little bit of a unfortunate delay, and because of that, Game 1 has already completed between York
Yes.
and Columbia College. It is completed, and York, against my better wishes for the Caitlin Lux that everyone knows and hates, it was York. York went ahead and won it out with that Cho'Gath Senna bot lane, but it was primarily the top side that really ran it through, and the reason that we're rushing through this intro is because we're already into game 2. It should be coming up shortly, and we'll walk through those champions as well here in a little bit. Do we have that ready, Cam? Can we go ahead and take a look at the champions? Is that right? Yeah, there we go. All right, so taking a look here, Columbia College stuck on that blue side. They are still running the Caitlyn, but they paired it with the Thresh instead, and the Vi is actually swapped over to the other side. The Ornn is still on the top side, and then the Victor in the mid lane. On the York side, they went with the Varus instead, picked up the J4 on their own, stole away from Columbia College, and then picked up the Blitzcrank to mess with the Caitlyn and Thresh, and then the Rise and Fiora. Fiora being the counter pick is a big change up from the Camille, but still a very heavy damage bruiser. And then, of course, the Rise in the mid lane. A little bit of a difference to the Orianna, but the Orianna was banned out in B4. And, of course, that means Columbia College could not pick it up, and that's all you need to know.
Okay, well, thank you, Orbital, for that quick breakdown. I am impressed. Yes, I was gonna say some of those things as well, but you know what? You hit every single important point that we could possibly talk about during this draft. Thank you very much, Orbital. So I'm gonna take the reins on the previous game, actually, the game 1 that we unfortunately were not quite able to watch. Misha eats LFT, so looking for a team. The mid laner here for York, and the Orianna from previous game. That was the top KDA, top damage, top every stat on the board that you could have looked at for the York squad here. They went 11, 2, and 12 with 21,900 damage on an Orianna. It is hard, very difficult to get the most damage in a game on an Orianna mid. This game does look like that they are on the rise, so I would say a pretty similar champion stylistically. And last game, of course, they were playing against Benjamix on the Syndra mid. This game, Benjamix is on the Victor mid, so again, very similar stylistically. So you would think that it could be a similar matchup, but I think the champions themselves might have different enough numbers that maybe we could see a different outcome come from the mid lane. And like you said as well, jungle also individually unawakened on the Vi from the previous game. The jungler for York did go 4, 2, and 11, very close to second most damage on the game as well. CC Pengu on the Jarvan 4. I really like your name, but unfortunately didn't have as good of a game on the Jarvan. Almost had a Jarvan top this game based on how they were hovering in Spectator. Client would have been very funny to have the Jarvan top, but you can see would have been a little interesting for a Fiora jungle. So it is in fact still that Fiora jungle, Jarvan jungle, Fiora top actually. So Pengu does get to play, or no, not the same champion. No, the Jarvan is on the red side now, not the blue side. I think you probably said that, and it just escaped my brain.
It's been a lot, but it's okay. No, it surprised me as well.
Yes. Anyways, we have a very similar mid and a very similar jungle matchup stylistically to the one that we had last game, which unfortunately we didn't get to watch. But Orbital, we've got a couple of seconds left in Spectator Live. Only a couple of seconds, so you gotta give us a quick prediction here.
I bet against York, against my better judgment in game number 1. I have a feeling that right now they showed their stuff, and I'm very excited to see what they can do in game number 2. The reason being, it's a little bit more standardized as well, right? That Varus and the Blitzcrank, it's very annoying, but what I'm worried about is the Fiora on the top side. Infernal Miss went straight back to the Ornn, and that says to me, even though we didn't really get to see the game, it says to me, hey, this is going to be my lock and loaded champion. This is the one I'm going to run with for the rest of the time, whether we won the lane or not. And because of that, that's why I feel Haunting felt a bit more confident. The Camille is a good damage dealer, but the Fiora takes a little bit more time to scale, but can be an absolute menace later on. And that's what I'm very, very curious to watch for. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to York.
Okay, you're going to give it to York for the top side. I'm going to give it to York for the mid lane. I think the mid lane matchup I said earlier may not be similar enough. I'm going to go back on my word and say it is similar enough that we can hopefully see a similar result here from Misha Eats. Now, it does look like we are about ready to head onto Summoner's Rift for game number 2 of this series, but game number 1 for the games that we get to watch tonight Okay, sorry about that. Didn't realize that our caster audio was not attached to the game scene. It is now. Sorry, welcome back. Again, this is game number 2 of the best of 3, but game number 1 that we get to see Columbia College got a little bit of extra gold, a little bit of extra XP onto Benjamix in an otherwise very uneventful level 1 scenario.
Yep, this is a chance. Now, of course, in the mid lane, we're seeing Misha go, hey, I want to take a fight. And remember, Rise starts. So normally you would actually see a start of the W, the cage, and it looked like Misha actually started with the E, a little bit of the flux there. So not really the biggest trading potential. The fact that you're still able to trade even against a Victor feels pretty dang good. And actually, wad out in the trade, you can see just a slight HP advantage. I like that. That's pretty good.
Slight HP advantage in the mid lane. I also want to talk about some of the keystones across the board. I am surprised that Misha opted for the First Strike on the Rise. I think First Strike stylistically has kind of been that more early game type of win lane rune. Rise doesn't strike me as a win lane type of champion, but Benjamix has also opted for the rune, and every time you get a First Strike mirror match in any lane, it always means that one person is not going to have nearly as fun time as the other person, just because only one person can ever proc that in any trades. Of course, up on the top side, you do expect Haunting to win this just because it is the Fiora into Ornn, and so far, he has been doing just that.
Uh-oh. Well, bot side, there might be a little bit of trouble here. Phoenix going, okay. Hook champion versus hook champion, but the blitz comes out a little bit worse where both of them blowing through all of those potions, meaning the next exchange could be very, very brutal.
Could be very brutal. Also, the cookies still available for Geo? Oh no.
Oh, that was very, very nice. And the follow through, that's going to be an auto and the heal coming out. I think Paragon is dead. There's no way you survived that one. And now Vondo has to run for their life. It was a beautiful hook from Phoenix, and that's what you like to see. Again, this bot side, that's exactly what's supposed to happen.
Exactly what is supposed to happen. And you said last game in our little bit before the game started area orbital, you didn't like the Varus in the 80 carry role right now. How is this Varus doing?
No. I didn't say it was bad. I say I just don't like the champion. That was the question that was posed to me.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's still a good pick, and it is especially paired with the Blitzcrank, and Phoenix is showing their stuff here, getting an early lead and granting that kill over to the Varus. This will continue to steamroll and be a much bigger issue, especially since now Logia is able to pick up that Vamp Scepter and is going to sustain in lane through the poke from the Caitlyn even better.
Able to sustain a little bit more. You did see on top side there as well. I wanted to point out Haunting crashing an entire cannon wave plus I believe a half a wave worth of caster minions. So really nice wave management there. Unfortunately wasn't in a position to actually dive Infernal Myths, but that is kind of the start of, I would call it learning how to dive kind of thing. If you can consistently have that type of wave management, especially in the top lane where wave management really does make or break that type of lane, right? Then definitely shows some promise in a player. Haunting, you see, is doing the exact same thing right now. So again, same exact scenario. If you had a jungler topside right now, could potentially be that dive angle. Just maybe not on this wave, maybe in the future.
Yeah, this is a chance, but of course, with that kill on the bot side, York are saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and focus on this bot side, and that's what you like to do, right? This is a huge point of power, and right now they're going to fight it off even more. Unawakened saying, hey, I want a chance, but Phoenix off on the top side of this Tribrush said, okay, well, I got pulled into this fight without my consent, so we're going to get the heck out of here. Flashes over the wall, is able to stay alive, but that's going to be a knock up. The follow by Pengu forces a chase out from Unawakened as well. Because of that, York are forced out of the bottom lane. Very nicely done by Columbia College.
Yeah, Columbia was able to punish that York bot side. I would say slight mistake. It wasn't even a large mistake, right? It was a very small mistake from the York bot side, and Columbia got some extra gold in their pockets. They are still down about 600 or 700 gold from York in comparison. Benjamix, I thought he was fine. Apparently he's not fine right now.
It's a painful lesson. Benjamex not able to trade out, and because of that, you are forced out of lane, and Vondo will now be on the chopping block. You don't have flash, by the way. There is no flash available for you, but you are able to try and draw this fight out on top of the Glacial Augment. They're going to try and fight it out, but that's going to be the kill. Misha is eating up these kills, and that's a flash forward. Misa trying to get the kill on Benjamex, and they are going to follow through. Last auto attack takes it, but now a draw, and the hook! The hook missed Pengu, and instead draws in Paragon. It's going to be the Blitzcrank living on a sliver as a jungle invade from York deserves multiple kills. What a trade and what a getaway.
Wow, that went like full fiesta mode there for like a solid 20 seconds. That was a solid 4v4 where not a single person was even level 6. Usually, like, you know, at the 5 or 6 minute, you can expect to have the at least mid laners be level 6 and have ultimates available, but nope. It was literally everyone level 3, level 4, level 5. I think maybe even Vondo might have been level 2 in that exchange, which it is rough to fight level 2 against a level 5 mid laner. And now you got a double kill onto Misha Eats. He had the star pop-off game, I would call it, last game on the 11-2 Orianna. This game now, starting a game off with the double kill on Rise is very hard to make a comeback from, especially in the mid lane on another scaling mage. Maybe you can make some sort of comeback on that if you were like an assassin or an early game just general champion, and Victor is not either one of those, really.
No, what you are is also a scaler, right? With the Orianna, it is a difference of, okay, the Orianna, it takes a lot more to get a lot of those kills. You have to be much more active through there, but a Rise can just farm up. For a Victor, you're going to try and do the same thing. It's now, you know, try and stem the bleeding. It's try not to give over too much extra gold. Try and farm up, match the farm ways. Benjamex, that's one of the issues that they had in those earlier fights. And so now you're going to try and wait it out, try and soak up the experience, and make sure you get to that same power point while simultaneously praying stuff like this does not happen. With that realm warp, it will be handed. Well, nope, it's going to be stolen by Unawakened. I mean, come on, Unawakened. You got to give a little bit of value over to Misha Eats. Misha does not eat, but more than an assist and a haunting, able to get the stun down, repulse any sort of knock-up. Infernal is going to flash away, but that is a powerful, powerful blow. Hextech flash over the wall as Phoenix lands the hook once again, but this time Pengu is in their right state. Only level 5 can't follow up with the ulti, so Misha Each just lays down even more damage between the two.
I mean, this is just a perfect case scenario for York. They get the full, I would call it at this point, vertical jungling on the bot side, right? Like, Pengu cannot walk in his bot side jungle. Really, no one on the side of Columbia can really walk on their own blue side jungle. They have to stick to the top side, and right now Infernal Myths is having a difficult time laning against Haunting, and to no fault of his own, it is just due to the match of Fiora being one of, if not the best counterpick to the Ornn. And Infernal so far has survived, and I mean, that's about as much as you can do on an Ornn in this type of lane. You're definitely not expected to get solo kills, not expected to get any sort of CS lane. He's only down 10 CS, which again, is doing quite well in this lane.
Yeah, that 10 CS difference is going to explode into about a 20. You saw the massive wave stacking up. But as you said, I do agree with that one. It is Infernal Miss. You're just trying to get XP. That's your main goal. At this point, you understand you're not going to fully win out against Haunting unless you have Pengu up there to help. What you're trying to do is make sure to hit those, hit level 13 and 14 and all that as quickly as possible. So right now, Columbia College not able to take anything on the map. All global objectives and global pressure is being handed to York's side. Pengu, though, says, I may not be able to influence the global objectives, but at least I can try for this bot lane. You can see the setup. Pengu rotating up to Tribrush. Hook goes out, and that now means there is nothing available for this bot lane to fight against it. Out goes the Chain of Corruptions, but this is so easy. Pengu setting it up perfectly. Logia section in a 1v2. Because of that, it is free farming there as Vondo takes the kill. That is unfortunate. It was a gift wrap kill, but it's a kill nonetheless.
It is a 150 shutdown picked up there for Vondo. Like you said, would have been a little bit nicer to have that shutdown on to Paragon. He is the, I guess not really scaling Caitlyn, but just needs some gold. Caitlyn is where Paragon is kind of at right now, and so far Vondo has gotten 2 out of the 2 kills for Columbia University. Benjamix is having a rough time here in the mid lane. Misha, though, might be dead.
Well, that was a great way to get back into it, burning the flash, but knowing Misha had no flash and nothing available, no mana to really try and duel back. Beautiful gank. You go ahead, pick that one up, you get your first kill on the board. The problem is Benjamex is now mexed up in a little bit of a death here. Unawakened takes tower shot. You're more than happy to follow through, so it's a trade of 1-for-1 as both mid laners do fall.
Both mid laners falling, but more importantly, Misha is the one coming back to lane with that completed Rod of Ages at 9 minutes. That is really like the best power spike other than actually completing the Rod of Ages that you can take on a Rise. That was mostly due to the double kill that he got at the like level 5 scuffle on the chicken bush. Pengu might be dead in his own jungle here.
This hurts. This hurts. The jungle is no longer safe. Poor Pengu. Pengu just wants to waddle around and have some fun, meet the camps, try and take a little gold from their pockets, and Haunting and Unawakened are just like, no.
By the way, like, all of these names from York Black, like, their IGNs are just so cool. Like, Haunting and Awakened together on a team, like, that's just a good team vibe, Benjamix? Oh, might be Dove. There's not even that much of a minion wave in the mid lane right now, but Benjamix just cannot fight a 1v3 on his own. Awakened yet again, picking up that kill for himself. He's picked up 3 kills now in a row off of mid lane. I believe, like, it is now very difficult for both Pengu and Benjamix to play around this mid. Pengu has to play towards one of his side lanes, and at this point, they have now kind of both lost their lanes as well.
It's a sad fact for the side of Columbia College, but for the side of York, I love what they're doing, right? It's a very highly identified situation, and there we go. This is the powerhouse. The ward blockage causes some problems, and the Thresh is denied the safety. Now on the top side, it's a 2-pronged attack as York smell that they are in the lead, and because of that, they push their advantage. I wanted to say it earlier, but York feels like they are in the lead, and because of that, they are just going all out aggressive. It doesn't matter if they feel like they're in a 1v2 or 2v3. They will take those fights now in full confidence.
A now 4,500 gold lead, maybe even more, has spawned for York Black. There is so little that Columbia College can do to fight them on even footing now. It has to be very advantaged for Columbia College. Now, they can take these fights. If they bring 4 members down the bot side, they can win those 4v2s still. That is not completely lost in that scenario, but you just need such a large numbers advantage at this point because of the pretty large gold lead. This gold lead won't mean as much later into the game when there aren't the first item mythics being on 5-0 pretty much, as you can see across the scoreboard. But once everyone gets their mythic, I think the gold lead might mean a little less. But right now, it is just so exaggerated because of how early in the game we are. We're not even at 14 minutes yet, so there can't even be objective bounties. Once those come online, then hopefully some more plates will also help close the gold lead a little bit more for Columbia College.
And for York, we get to see why they were so dominant in game number 1. And I agree that gold lead is a little bit different, but hold up. We can't even talk right now. I want to talk about the gold lead and anything of the sort, but the channeling is up. That's going to be a punch out as a bounce house occurs for Phoenix. They are not allowed to live. The Varus can do nothing more than just drop 1 or 2 auto attacks. But now here comes the fight. The Realm Warp coming in. It looks like they might have overstayed their welcome.
No.
It's a doozy of a fight as a Cataclysm brings so much pain and death. It will be the finisher for the Caitlyn, but they will lose their life in exchange. A shutdown on Unawakened leads to a 2-for-3. Columbia College lose out in the bot lane.
3 for 2, but Columbia College did pick up the 300 shutdown off of Awakened. I don't believe Phoenix had a shutdown on their head, and I'm not entirely sure who got Unawakened shutdown either. Only person that I know didn't get it is Vondo, which is probably best case scenario for Columbia College, right? In that case, they most likely will die every time, so best case they can do is trade out 1-for-1, and that was exactly what Paragon was able to do with his own life there. Benjamix might not be so lucky here in the mid lane. It is at the point of the game now where Misha has the Rod of Ages over Benjamix, who still is yet to complete his mythic item. He bought the Dark Seal to hope it would help him get to his first item quicker, and that is the risk that sometimes does not always pay off. It's really just Misha throwing around a gold lead. This is what
This is the true meaning of gold slinging, right? There's no rhyme or reason. It's just we are just too dang strong, and there's value behind it, right? Not utilizing a gold lead does feel pretty bad, and the fact that Misha is able to identify that so easily through the items, of course, but just saying we have the lead, why wouldn't we go for these fights? Why wouldn't I go aggressive and flash into your face and try and take those kills? I like it. York are identifying their strong points, and they're not going to let up. So far, just shy of 14 minutes. That is a grand total of, I believe, 8 plates going the way of York on the top side. Haunting still taking a lead as well, about 30 CS to their own name. And with the Infernal coming up as well, this will be the second Drake that York are dancing around. For the side of Columbia College, they're going to try for their first, or not even dance it at all. They're going to wait for the third dragon and maybe take a chance there.
I would definitely prefer Columbia College to give the second dragon. I think second dragon is usually a big bait, especially for teams that are this far behind in gold. The third dragon is very much a more heavy impact game. I don't know how to put it. The third dragon has more impact on the game. Yes, that's the right words. Oh, potential steal over the wall. Very close there by Pengu. He does make it out alive, but Paragon might not be so lucky.
Nope, this is going to be a follow as they do trade one. J4 goes down, and they don't have the player advantage, and because of that, you only trade 1 for 1. But hook over the wall, though. That's going to seal Paragon's life. The flash is a little bit too late as Logia seals the deal. Double kill for the Varus. Benjamex is going to run for their life. Yes, J4 started it and lost their life first, but in the end, once again, you pay 3 kills for the price of a dragon and 2.
It is almost the exact same scenario played back to back, both of them going in the favor of York Black. And now that one, in addition to 2 kills, also the dragon. Logics?
Oh.
Good one for one. You know what? That was a good one for it. It was a 550 shutdown picked up there for Benjamix as well. They did no, they didn't trade flashes. It was just Benjamix who actually flashed away from that one. Second Rift Herald will most likely be our next objective. I don't know the exact time on that one, but I would expect within 1 or 2 minutes. And it is a Chemtech Soul, this game. I always love Chemtech Souls. I don't think anyone on either of these teams can really use healing, but Tenacity is helpful for anyone.
It feels good, right? It's just nice. It's better than Cloud, unfortunately. As much as I love Cloud and running fast, it's nice to have, right? The fact also that the plants get a little bit of a boost, York is going to really enjoy that side, you know, for as much as Columbia College, hey, we might be able to pick it up, York are going to enjoy that much more. Those blast cones become extremely ridiculous at getting in your team to the back line, right? York are already a team that are accelerating the game. Imagine a blast cone just sending you straight into the face of Pengu from across the map. You're going to have a blast with that one.
The blast with the blast cone, yes. I also noticed earlier you said like helping hand or something along with the blitzcrank. I don't even know if you noticed what you said, but I picked up on it. I wanted to give you credit in the moment, but I forgot to give you credit in the moment. I'll give you credit 3 minutes after the moment.
It's the delay. It's the League of Legends delay. It works everywhere, right?
Perfect.
Oh boy.
I don't think Awakened is able to win a 1v4 quite yet, but he will surely try.
Well, he's going to live for a little bit longer than expected and now decided to try and turn it around. But that was Vondo and the rest of the squad saying, hey, look, the blast cone is great. We can use it to our own advantage as well. So well played to get that kill once again. At this point, Columbia College are just grabbing whatever they can, right? At least going for those kills is huge. So I really, really do like that they are going for it. They're trying to make a play. Even if it's only 300 gold, that's more gold than you had earlier. So very, very nicely done.
It is always just a matter of stacking the small advantages, whether it is gaining gaining control of an area of a jungle that you didn't previously have, and then converting that into one of those kills, or getting maybe a dragon steal. Like all of these little micro advantages that they can claim in the next 5 or so minutes will be very helpful in maybe not winning this next dragon fight, but at least winning the next one after that, as anything that they can stack up now, it will help on that eventual soul steal that they will need to play for. Words are really escaping me tonight right now, man, but I don't think there will be a kill in the top lane. Both top laners do have both flash and teleport, so there's not even like a ghost or a ignite that we have to worry about. We're playing safe in the top lane.
We say safe, and yet I still feel like Haunting is looking for that tower dive. Haunting
That's
is
true.
2-0, has 150 CS. I theoretically could see the dive come out, but that's going to be the hook. That's going to be the draw. And with a little help from Phoenix, you draw the flash and more. That's just a punch in the face. Haunting, with the help from a friend, takes down a kill and takes down the tower. Follow through with a little follow-up, though. Pengu said, we get revenge. Not today. You don't get away for free. Take the kills as you like it. And over the wall, Phoenix goes, but surviving just enough means the knock-up and follow-through will get the kills in return. The flash for it means Pengu gets a 1-for-1 trade, but across the map, it is 3 dead and possibly more as Logia continues to follow through. Another kill for the Varus. It brings even more death around. Paragon is going to live by flashing out of the Cataclysm with an ace in the hole. You might get even more. Paragon's starting to get a little bit stronger at 6 and 5, but the J4 is going to survive as we look down at Misha, who got a solo kill in the bot lane and is just shoving away on the tower.
And again, it is just one more kill going in the favor of York Black. I don't know how many kills. I'm going to say probably like 9 kills total there, maybe 8 kills total. I think almost every single person on the map died in that exchange pretty much, right? And it was just one more in the advantage of York Black. They do now have a 10,000 gold lead. Misha, really good use of the Rise ult, Realm Warp, to get the wave underneath the turret, I think was the goal of that one, but hopefully it doesn't cost his life.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Paragon. Wrong side of Summoner's Rift, my friend.
That fight continued after it, so I thought it was done, right? When we swapped down to see Misha. Apparently not. Paragon and Unawakened were chasing all the way up on the top side, so that'll be Paragon going down. There's 6 death here, but they do have 6 kills, so they're pretty happy. Benjamex, though, can they find... Nope, no laser. So Misha eats, gets out alive. Now we get to go back to what you were talking about earlier, Camcom. Just chilling out here.
Chilling out before this next dragon fight. I mean, this next dragon fight's not going to be very chill if York and Columbia both want to contest. Now, I do think, yes, it is their dragon. Yes, it is going to be a very impactful dragon, but I don't think Columbia are still in a position to truly go 5-on-5 in a full fist fight. Now, if they get 1 or 2 picks again before this dragon fight, I can eat my words, that's for sure, but as of right now, I think it just needs to be a play for steal or play for wave angle.
That's what you're hoping for, right? Or maybe a giant overstep by York, which could happen, right? It's highly improbable, but it's not 0. We've seen how they're like to play. York are deciding to play up, play very aggressive, have fun with it, right? And that does have the very, very small, like the 1% opportunity of them overstepping. You get the shutdowns, and hey, maybe you get a roll off there. But that's a big ask right there. That is a very, very big ask. So let's see if the wave states help them out any longer. We have Dragon in about 5 minutes, as that was just taken down there, currently sitting on Soul Point. York are also looking at this Baron. They could take it right now with the champions that they do have available. They could look to take this Baron with just 3 members and leave Misha to push alone. Or they could just try and push and take one of the inhibitor towers and break open the base. No, it's the call. They are going to start pinging, and they're going to start doing it with only 2. Because of that, Phoenix gets routed, gets hooked, gets drawn in, and gets killed. The Blitzcrank is deleted from the game. Over the wall, though, that's going to be a hook and the follow-through, but they didn't know the rest of the team was there. Columbia College might have bitten off a little bit more than they could shoot. Cataclysm over the wall will seal the deal, as that is another 3 kills. Misha wants some more, though. Do they give the quadrant? Come on, bring it through. Bring it through. Yes, the flash with the quadrant they wanted. Misha wants it so bad. Benjamex, you got to help him out. Are you going to be a big man? Are you going to be an ally to that Penta? Doesn't look like it. It looks like York are going to go right back and do the global objective.
Man, how dare they, not get the Penta. There's another game, like League of Legends is still going on. It's not just to claim your Penta game. I can't believe it, nah. Congratulations to Misa. Don't know the exact amount of quadras or even pentas that they have claimed throughout this season, but adding one on your belt with Rise, I would say, is probably one of those more difficult champions to pick right now in the meta. Haunting having a little bit of a difficult time down here in the bot lane, but even if he does die, I would still say it is very worth for York trying to trade his life out 1-for-1 right now with Benjamex, and I think he might just be unsuccessful in that endeavor. He is buying so much time right now. Hante is single-handedly wasting 4 members of Columbia College's time in the bot lane, and he's just constantly healing through it as well.
Oh, the Divine Thunder is doing so much work. You don't have the ulti, but you. Oh, well, you actually did. I didn't know you had the ulti as well. You're able to get it off, but you still go down. Oh, Phoenix wanted to so bad.
I mean, again, best case scenario for York Black. Unawakened gets all the time that he could possibly want to push this wave on the top, claiming that inhibitor turret for himself.
Oh.
You have Elijah here in the mid lane as well, pushing this wave as far as he can. Harnting knew he was going to die there, no matter what he did. So the only goal that he really had in his mind was to either trade out 1-for-1 or to just waste as much time as he possibly did, and he ended up doing both.
I love it. So now we get to play the game. When do York end? Right? That's the big question here. Last game, they sped it up at a very, very nice pace. So taking a look, they ended that game at 24.5 minutes. With 2 minutes left in this game, do we see them finish in the same amount of time? Or do we see them go over or under? What do you think, Cam?
Ooh, over under on 24 minutes. Okay. Well, considering the fact that we have a dragon in 2 minutes, I'm going to say we'll probably end 60 seconds or less past that dragon. So I'm going to say over 24 minutes.
I like it. I gotta agree with that, right? Like, the dragon's gonna be so much fun for them to play with.
You can't just
However, if Phoenix has...
steal my point, man. All right, man. Whatever.
Oh, I do apologize. I do apologize for that. That's my bad. Right now though, Phoenix is waiting. That's gonna be like, oh, they found it! Oh, they found it! They might not need dragon! They might not need dragon! They get the kill. Realm Warp just to get the rise in tow as well. And with the Baron on call, they heard you, Cam. They heard you say over and they said, nah, not today. Look at the Cataclysm with 3. Double flash out to stay alive. But I'm not sure that's gonna be enough. Inhibitor and mid goes down. Inhibitor and bot goes down.
A minute. We've been muted. For how long? I don't know.
Are we still muted? Oh
No,
no.
we are good now. I'm so sorry. That was insane. We were screaming. I have no idea how long we were muted for, if we were muted, but we are back now. Welcome back. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh
am so
no.
sorry. I genuinely don't know what happened, but
You better have gotten my screams at the end. Please tell me the screams at the end were there. Oh no.
I got hyped. You know what? We were hyped together. That's all that matters.
All right. So Cam, the question is, do they do it a third time though? Do they try it a
Okay.
third time? Does York try it one more time for Unawakened to go in, Cataclysm, and then wait for the Realm Warp for them all to go in? Is that going to happen?
I'm very nervous now. I still feel very insulted. I don't know if the stream heard this or not, but I said that they were going to end within 30 seconds of taking that infernal, not infernal, sorry. It still says infernal, I get confused, that last Chemtech dragon, and then they like immediately speed ran it down in the Nexus, and then they did it again, and now they're trying it for the third time. Is this strategy going to work now? I don't know.
Well, they stopped the Realm Warp, which is number one, and the J4 can't finish it off, but they are going to try and break the fight out, but Logia is taken quite low, but they won't finish it this time. They throw the autos down, and they make it happen. Hansing finishes off the game, and we are done. York win the series 2-0.
Congratulations to York Black for taking their series this week. 2-0 against Columbia College. It was a little bit scuffed on our side. I'm very sorry, but it was definitely not scuffed gameplay from either of the teams, especially York Black. Congratulations.
It was a great time. I loved it. I love watching them play. And again, we only got one game, but I think they're a serious team moving into the playoffs. I'm going to be very, very excited because if they have not dropped a game, and remember, the only reason we say they're 2-0, these were 2-2-0 teams, is we were missing a few of the reported match scores. I'm assuming York is running through all of this. I assume they're doing quite well. At the same time, though, playoffs is what matters, and that's what you're really hoping to hone in on here at the end stages. We are going to go to a quick break, though, because we have another series coming up just in a little bit, so please do not go anywhere. I will be gone. I think Cam is still running a few things, so yeah, we're going to have some fun, though, but you'll have a brand new set of casters, so please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more NECC action.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NECC main channel. I am Sofjan. With me, I have Fish. I just wanted to say before we start this last series of the night, happy International Women's Day to everyone watching, the players, production, everyone behind the scenes, myself included, in front of the scenes tonight. And Fish, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, Sochin. I'm excited for some more League of Legends action with you. You snuck away from me last week, so now I get you back, and I am excited to see how this is going to go. We've got two teams in our Challenger Pacific Frontier Division, the Park Pirates and CSUDH. Should be an absolute blast here. I know looking at the draft lull, I'm very excited to see what Game 1 has in store, because there's a lot of shenanigans going on.
It's true. Sometimes you guys might worry, how do these casters know what's been picked since it's not on the screen? We have some magic tricks up our sleeve. Maybe sometimes we have access to secret links. But right now, we have Park University Pirates with a score of 2-0. One of the games from the 4 weeks was a bye, and one of them was not reported. So it's a little bit of a prediction on how this is going to go against CSUDH, since they have been a 2-2 in these past 4 weeks. So I think it looks a little balanced. What do you think?
I think it looks very balanced. I do think for CSUDH, their roster definitely has some question marks. I think we're going to see they have, does it look like they have a natural mid laner? That's definitely something that kind of pops out to me of who's going to fill in that mid lane role. I've got 4 weeks to kind of learn it, but we do hop in and take a look at the draft here. And as we were saying, it's definitely looking very interesting. And the fact that the Park Pirates got the Xayah Rakan with Rakan at the very end on B5, that is wild to me that CSUDH let that through.
That is so true, but at the same time, maybe they are very confident with the Nautilus on that bottom lane. They are confident that the Jinx is going to be able to scale. And to be fair, talking about scaling, CSUDH has the comp to play late game. That is all that they have. They don't have early game. They don't have mid game. Maybe a little bit, but late game is their strength. And we'll see if they have what it takes to get up into there.
I think you're totally right, and I think that there's a lot of things for the Park Pirates. I mean, they also have some late game with the Ornn items, but going back to that mid lane that I was talking about, they kind of threw that advantage away. They picked the Seraphine mid into the Veigar. The Seraphine, we know Seraphine very strong, but she's not going to pop off. She's not going to kill people very often. So interesting that Park kind of gave away what I thought was their biggest advantage in lane. And what matchup are you most excited to see here, Sofchan, in this game? Is there any lane that kind of sticks out to you that you're excited to see between our two teams once we get going?
Usually, I am such a heavily biased player for bot lane and caster, of course. But I think that the Ornn Irelia matchup is going to be really cool to watch, because I feel like even though they can be passive and they can just try to go for the farm and freezing and maintaining the experience coming and the gold, I think some great plays can come out of that even before level 6. So that would be a highlight for me potentially. But of course, as always, bot lane, especially with the lovers there on the side of Park Pirates. We'll see what Nautilus and Jinx can do in the early game. Nautilus always strong. I think it's definitely the champion on the red side of the map that has the ability to be consistent through all stages of the game. So maybe we'll see something happen for them because of those hooks.
Yeah, I think Nautilus, a very strong pick, as you said. I think it'll be interesting to see. I know Xayah, ever since the sort of AD carry item rework, has really kind of come to the forefront of the meta. Usually when that Xayah is locked in, the Rakan is taken away, but we talked about CSUDH lets it through, and I'm curious how this jungle matchup will go. Anytime there's a Kayn, I know there's a lot of talk. There's one strategy to beat Kayn. You just kind of AFK in lane. You delay his final form as long as you can. So I'm curious if maybe CSUDH Cardinal will stay back, force him to go for very risky ganks to try and build up either the red or the blue form Kayn. I would assume it's going to be red form with this team. I don't think an assassin helped things out, but that'll be interesting because that could make that jungle pick completely irrelevant for 20, 25 minutes, and that could maybe put the Park Pirates behind here. And with Zach, we talk about it all the time, so I feel like we see a Zach like once a week when we're cast together. The ganks are so easy. The slingshot is just so set up. It's so easy for the Zac to get ahead if his team plays around, not letting the Kayn farm up his form. But it sounds like we're ready for game. So, Sofchan, before we hop in, or as we hop in, I should say, who do you got in game one? Park Pirates or CSUDH?
Oh my, I think I'm gonna go for CSUDH. I am such a Jinx fan. I have to go with a Piltover mayhem that this girl can cause. What about you?
Oh man, the fact that Xayah and Rakan are on the same team, I think it leans towards the Park Pirates. I'll take the Park Pirates. I'll go against you. And let's hop in to game number one here in our Challengers Pacific Frontier Division. As Sofchan said, the Park Pirates 2-0 with an unreported score and a bye, and CSUDH 2-2. So a very big game for both of these teams, especially Park. A win could potentially mean they are 3-0. So we'll see if we get any shenanigans here at the start.
I have to say, Fish, one of the things that I'm most excited for when we have a Zac every week, as you mentioned, is seeing the pet slingshotting across the map with Zac. It's the green blob, and it's the little pet, and it just makes my day. It's incredible. But we have Summer's Rift here right in front of us. We're just waiting for things to be absolutely ready. Maybe some spectator issues, because we know how the client is, right? Riot Games. So there's nothing new coming under the sun. But I have to say, I leaned towards the lovers on the bot lane a lot. But I pondered for the Jinx. I thought she deserved some love too.
Jinx got, plenty of love with Arcane, which, hey, we might get another season of that coming out hopefully sometime this year. But no, I think you're right. I think this bot lane, I think Jinx can absolutely pop off, and you highlighted the power the Nautilus brings. Potentially maybe even here to an early gank is Junior. Very, very close to this Rakan. I'm surprised he did not send that hook out. This felt like a free kill. Ow!
Yeah. They were very, very hesitant on that one because they didn't know where the other people were. If they didn't spot that ward in the bush right there behind the Baron pit, I think if they had seen it, they would have went right for it because they would knew that one person was at least there and they would be able to get the kill on the Rakan. But you gotta be, as you said, testing the waters. These two teams have a lot on the table for them. One team with 2-2, the other with 2 and a bye and an unreported game. So things can get very important when that one series might make the balance go to your side and not the enemies.
Ooh, we see the Park Pirate himself on the jungle. Quite the name for the Park Pirates. He's getting a little bit feisty up on that top side, at least walking over there. Maybe going to attempt a steal here on this red buff. Is this Kayn? We'll have to keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, bot lane, Rarko and Fritz looking to hit some early damage onto Junior. Going to pay him back for the early gank gone wrong. They chunk him down to about 50%, and they disengage.
I believe that it's always a nice call when you're Nautilus to try and do something. Now, also very clever to just freeze and push for the level 2. So don't let that wave get too close to the enemy tower. So don't push that much so you're not that exposed. Just maintain that in a healthy balance. I think that one should be the limit if you're gonna try to be aggressive. But it's the blue side that's going aggressive on this one, Fish.
He'll get a dash into Luffy. Ignite going to go out here from Rarko, but they'll both disengage. Junior had a nice hook as well, so feels like First Blood is going to end up on this bot side. We do see Xayah Rakan, the Lover's Ding first, or level 2 first, so they'll have an early advantage, but they have no minions to try and run down this bot lane. And Kayn missed the smite, so Park Pirates on this Kayn is going to be very far behind in his early jungle pathing.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss a smite as a jungler. It's definitely the most important asset as this roll. Oh, but the hook under the tower is going to be very close to that one. The ignite will finish it off, Fish. Oh, is it enough? The shield, Rakan. Oh, First Blood.
I thought the shield was gonna be enough. The dash under the tower. Oh my goodness, the Park Pirates coming out very aggressive, but first blood does go over to Junior, though Luffy did not get an assist, so that Jinx did not get any gold and still only has 4 CS to their name here. Though it does look like Little Asia may be looking for a gank onto Fritz, gonna channel that elastic slingshot. He'll cancel it, so no flying pet early on, though Fritz is hanging around very aggressive here.
Yeah, and in this bot lane, you see the Zac coming in, as you mentioned. You have your bot lane very exposed, very little health. That can be a open plate for the ADC to overcommit. They're gonna have to flash away, still get caught in the slingshot, manages to pull it back. Fish, what a nice counterplay.
Oh, they got the exhaust on Asia. Maybe they can proc the Cell Division. Oh, just misses. But no, you're completely right. What a counter. Luckily, Rarko got there just in time to help out the shield, this time keeping his AD carry alive. And this bot lane, Xayah Rakan, is going to be a massive problem, as now Little Asia caught in a very awkward spot. Park Pirate himself coming up. You can't name yourself after the team, man. Come on. The caster's worst nightmare is that.
It kind of sounds like the team was named after them. Come on.
It kind of does. Got a whole university named after himself. Hey, props to that.
Would you look at that? They were like, Park Pirates. Pirates, yeah, that's the one. That's my team. This is going to be the name after me. And we'll see if this Kayn is going to be able to show a lot to the table on this one, because so far, as you mentioned, they're there. You know, nothing much so far. The Zac is 1 level behind, so at least the Kayn is maintain the healthy level of XP coming in. Still a couple of seconds for those buffs to spawn. 15 for the first Drake is going to be an Ocean one. And nobody is really positioning towards that area. No wards aside from the Scuttle Crab that was guaranteed by Park Pirates.
Yeah, the way this bot lane has been trending, I feel like the Park Pirates probably kind of just banking this Ocean Dragon will be theirs at some point, because Rarko and Fitz have just basically been pushing the whole time. Though here come Luffy and Junior. Finally, this Jinx able to catch up on CS. But yeah, other than that, as you pointed out, it's been a very slow game outside of bot lane. No kills across the map. Really haven't had our action go anywhere else besides bot lane. So I'd say everybody else kind of farming up, and it looks like CSUDH has kind of said, yeah, we don't want this Kayn to get ganks. He can hit 6. He can be ahead in levels, but he's not going to be close to his form. I don't think he's auto-attacked a single champion yet.
Well, that is very possible. And one thing I wanted to add on what you said there, Fish, is how the red team in the bottom lane has really been pushing hard. And I don't think I would go for that play as much, especially when you know that your jungle is pathing towards the other side of the map. So maybe they're thinking about going for the Herald first whenever it spawns. So I think you're leaving your bot lane too exposed for the Kayn to come in, especially since you noticed that Kayn was there once the bottom lane was super low on health. So you got to be careful about that pathing. Of course, not questioning here that our Challengers League doesn't know what they're talking about, but I believe that in this case in particular, maybe CSUDH could have made a better decision in regards to this pathing.
No, I'm with you, because there's no wards in River right now. If Park Pirate wants to come down on this Kayn, he's already situated around the bot lane. Look for Rarko to start this with a massive knock-up. Doing a great job with these grand entrances so far that we got to get a gank top. But Little Asia had just canceled the elastic slingshot, so we go down bot lane. Oh. Park Pirate is there. They're going to try and get the knock-up onto Luffy, but they're not quite able to get it. Couple of ganks gone wrong here for both sides.
And it feels like that has been happening all throughout the match, hasn't it? So far, just 1-1. Pirates are maintaining a good CS lead. Nothing much so far. Of course, we have, as I said, we have not gone for any objectives so far. We don't have any wards. To be fair, this map is absolutely dark. There is nothing on the rivers, nothing on the jungles, aside from those little entrances to the side lanes. And that can be a little dangerous, because you're not going to keep track of anything happening until the jungler or the missing laner is going to be ganking your lane.
Yeah, I think as she said, I think there's maybe 2, 3 wards across the map, and it's both into those entrances to the top and bot lane that we do see Rarko maybe flirting with going in. Great job freezing the lane here from Fritz and Rarko. You can see 52 to 27 CS, and that's really the only big difference in the game. There's about a 20 CS difference in top. You kind of expect that for Relia versus Ornn. This bot lane for the Park Pirates, I think, are definitely going to be a massive problem because I think D. Luffy is going to take a while to scale up on this Jinx, which already needs 2 or 3 items.
I really agree with that. I think the main thing that Pirates have been doing great in the bottom lane has been the wave management fish. And that has been helping them so much. And if we mention how Rocco is positioning, is very aggressive because they know they can just come back with a shield. And here you go. You just disengage right away. Nothing much is going to happen there. The gank is going to fail because they have been keeping the wave in such a great position. If the wave was too pushed, Fish, it would be very exposed for the blue side. But they know exactly what they're doing. Look at that. That has been very beautiful to watch. And that is keeping them, as you said, on their very first lead of CS and gold so far.
No, I mean, yeah, you just... That gank was a perfect example of what you're talking about, right? So if Rarko goes in, comes back, and Zac hadn't even finished channeling the elastic slingshot. He flies in and is like, oh, this is kind of awkward. There's nobody here. That was masterclass by Rarko. Everything else, again, we might actually have an Ocean Dragon attempt here. We do see little Asia 1 around. Meanwhile, we get the call of the Forge God onto Blood. Gonna get knocked up. Park Pirate is here as well. And this will be our first kill outside of bot lane, going over to Goon, picking one up on the Aurelia.
Very nice there again from the Pirates. I think their positioning has been crucial here. Seraphine going for the 1v1. Nothing much happening so far. Next dodge on the W is going to keep themselves healthy. But as we mentioned earlier in the draft, nothing much is going to happen in that mid lane. It's a Seraphine. She heals. She pokes a little bit. The Vega, he can do much, but he's still farming his way onto that point. Right now, I think it's impressive to see that Zac got his opening to go for the Drake, even though this bot lane on the blue side is so advanced themselves, and that's going to be a nice setup for them. If they don't notice that Zac is on the Drake, they're going to have to back as fast as they can. Zac is not even going to go for that one. Well, okay. I would go immediately there after seeing that they were pushing for the plates.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I'm with you. I thought either Zac should have gone there or Fritz and Rarko should have check Dragon at some point. I don't think there's a blue ward on the map right now. So sorry, there's one in bot lane Tribush. There is one blue ward on the map right now. Absolutely crazy that Park is just like, Vision's overrated. We don't need to worry about it. But again, it is a 2-1 lead here for Park. A very slow game, as you said, as we expected. Mid lane just kind of battling back and forth. Ornn starting to get a little confident on the top side, but I don't think he wants to make a play without Park Pirate himself on the cane up in the top lane. So they're content right now just farming out. We might get a mid fight here, maybe around this Rift Herald. We can see that Junior's rotated up, but the Park Pirates are still down bot side. Maybe looking for a gank onto this Jinx. Park Pirate going to jump onto her, and Fritz going to pick up the kill as we zoom by.
As Fish, I didn't know I had signed up to cast a marathon, but here we are tonight in this very Wednesday evening. Here we go. Here we go. We are going for a knock-up on this Nautilus. A nice engage and a hit from the Shelly is going to get a lot of health down on that turret on the red side. And I think we have things normalized. Oh, Lord. And once again, Zac, even though they saw that there was an enemy bot laner there, they just didn't go for it. I don't understand. Why are you so hesitant?
Hey, if you pick Zac, like, you got to go in at some point, right? You know, this Zac has been very cautious. This Park Pirate is going to get stunned up here by Blood, though we do have the Zac. He's going to jump in on top of this cane. Here comes the call of the Forge God. Going to get a knock up onto Zac Jr. coming in as well. Fritz is here. Blood going to pick up one. They do have this mid laner on the other side. A shutdown going to go over to CSU DH. Rarko picking up one. And Kaskinen going to get another one there. So a 2 for 2 overall in that top lane engage that probably should have gone CSU DH's way.
Well, to be fair, I think we had a nice encore from the Seraphine, so I believe that that really helped.
Mhm.
At the same time, I just feel like the Pirates have been better at macro in this game. Oh, talking about how one team is playing against the other. I was talking about macro, but that was a very micro moment to talk about. Aurelia is always going to be the duelist to take you down. She has so much mobility, so much damage, and this is going to be a certain recall for the Ornn. And I think overall, Fish, it really shows how the Pirates have been building this advantage now on kills because they have accumulated the gold because of the lead in farm, and now they have the items to be able to outscale the rest of the team. And when you have a composition so late game like CSUDH has, that is going to be a big problem.
Ooh, quickness comes out here from Rarko, but not quite able to have anyone else in range of this Jinx. No, I'm with you. I think for CSUDH, I do think the one bright spot is this Aurelia is starting to get scary as we do get a hook onto Rarko, and he goes boom. We are going to see the encore come out. Casina going to pick up one, make it two. Park Pirate gets one, and wow, that was not how I expected that exchange to go in the mid lane.
Yeah, it did go really well for the Pirates once again. Super nice. I believe that Cosnikin has really been making a difference with those encores, with the way they have been playing. So now building, look at that. We have a Leandris, we have a Dark Seal, we have a unnecessarily big stuff, and it's going to be great for Seraphine because she has the range and allowing for the teammates to be a little protected with the shields. And of course, the potential to engage as well with Encore is just going to be great because you have big engages with the Irelia, with the Zac on the other side, with the Nautilus. But so far, the red side hasn't had any opportunity to get that close to the backline of Pirates. They are always in a good spot to fight and not let anything happen to them. So maybe the one thing that's going to make a difference for CSUDH is trying to get those pickoffs in the moments that we mentioned before. When you see an ADC alone, go for it. And how do you know it's an ADC alone? Make sure you have vision by those wards and position them well according to the objectives.
I'm totally with you. I do think the one other suggestion I could give to the red side here, Sofia, is play around this Aurelia. Continue to find ways to get blood ahead because Goon is slowly losing this 1v1, but there's never any backup. He's still got a tower that's just barely alive, so he's able to run away. But if you give Aurelia another kill, I don't know. There's no one on this blue team that can match her 1v1 once Goon falls off. So I'd like to see maybe the Zac come up one more time, get a kill onto Ornn, really get this Aurelia scaling ahead. Because Aurelia, it's up to like a 30 CS lead now. She's starting to pull ahead just as much as this Xayah is ahead of the Jinx.
I totally agree. I think the thing that I wanted to highlight as well that you really complimented was the potential for 1v1s that Aurelia has. And it's important to exploit that because you're not going to be able to get much out of her in a number disadvantage position. Oh, she's gonna have... No, she didn't get the Reaper stayed there. But oh no, I don't think this is gonna be good for her. The knock-up lands. And even Jinx wanted to be part of the party on this one. And unfortunately, once again, we see CSUDH trying to go for those engages that we mentioned, but always one step behind.
Yeah, no, that time it was the Park Pirates who were there. They knew that Goon was going to need some help. Didn't really see anyone. I didn't even see little Asian one at all from the side of CSUDH. He was still back in base, but now this top tower going to go down for CSUDH. The Fritz just absolutely ripping this one apart for the Park Pirates. And yeah, I think the biggest thing that we can take away from these first 18, 19 minutes is little Asia just... I haven't seen him very often. I just have not seen the Zac at all.
I think that not only that, every time you see them and you go like, oh, nice opening for a gank, they're just like, I'm gonna head out to the Grump.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do these chickens real quick. Do you mind just waiting a little bit? I'm just gonna get a takeaway. Is that fine with you? Okay. And unfortunately, as you would expect, not having that much presence from your jungler is going to impact your game very negatively. And with a TP, looks like Red Team is committing to trying to get something on this Infernal Drake that is about to spawn. Oh, that has already spawned. But there is a Shelly on that middle turret is going to hit, and is going to be massive if the blue team has an opening on that one.
Rarkor gonna get gripped in, gonna pop the quickness, hits one, hits a second, knock up into the air on Blood. Encore comes out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Fritz looking for the first kill, gonna pop the Cell Division onto the Zac, gonna hunt down the Vigar as well. Give him one more with the Ignite, gonna go over to Rarkor. The Zac falls down, and now is Shelly pushing in the base. This could easily be GG for the Park Pirates if this Rift Herald stays alive. I think they can win this if they want to behind the charges from Shelly.
Yeah, it's very possible. Right now, it's still an ace. A couple of seconds for the Nautilus to come back. Come on, give me Dancing Shelly. Oh, no, turret.
No.
Why do you do my dreams like that?
Why
do you do me so dirty?
Why do you hate our fun, Nexus Tower? But the Park Pirates will take down the Nexus in revenge, and they will pick up a Game 1 win, 15-4 in their favor. And I mean, really, that was such an interesting game, Swapchan, because it felt like for about 15 minutes, nothing happened, and then Park ended the game at 20 minutes and 50 seconds. That was the quickest 5-minute, just, all right, everybody, gas down, we're ending this. That was crazy from Park.
And to be fair, Fish, that is one of the things that with Collegiate, sometimes we struggle so much when casting. Please, just hit the Nexus, end the game, go for the wrap-up, and then Park Pirates just coming up, exploding everything on team fights, showing us that the game wasn't that calm and balanced as we thought it was. They were really sneakily just building that advantage in items, in gold, that suddenly, as you said, 5 minutes later, it was just over. So I have to say that it was a nice, clean game from Pirates because of that. It didn't feel like they were doing that much because they were managing really well in a very silent way. But at the same time, I feel like CSUDH has to go for those initiatives. Just roll the dice, try to get the 20, because if you don't roll the dice, you're just going to be negative, and the enemy is going to strike you first. And that is not good, especially when you're in a 2-2 scenario with this 4 week. You want to get the upper hand. You want to get the extra win on your belt for the next week of NECC. So I hope that they go for a little more presence, a little more proactiveness in the next game, because if Park Pirates still can do the same thing, they're just going to wrap up in 20 again.
I will say, in CSUDH's defense, they did try that aggressive play to roll 20, right? They teleported down to the Infernal Dragon. Park Pirates just called their bluff and said, we'll just push mid. Okay, you can set up around Dragon all you want. But no, I'm with you. I want to see him be aggressive. I was like, oh, it's going to be a fight. And Park's like, no, what if we just push mid and we don't care about you? That was genius call by whoever the leader is for Park Pirates. But we'll take a quick break here on the NECC. We come back, hop into Game 2 of this series. Maybe Park Pirates will win Game 2 by the time we come back. That's how quickly they finish Game 1. But we'll be back on the NECC right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second game of the best of three, Park Pirates versus CSUDH in our Challenger Pacific Frontier Division NECC League of Legends. I am Soph Chen. Fish, what are you expecting for this next match?
I'm expecting some way for CSUDH to find a way to unironically speed up the game, right? Because I think Park, as fast as they finished that game, they kind of lulled everyone to sleep, myself included. Like, for 10, 12 minutes, we were just like, yeah, there's nothing happening here. There's a kill bot lane. There's a kill top lane. And then, bam, they're like, we're going. So I'm expecting CSUDH, that level 1 play that we didn't see in game 1, I think is a perfect example, right? So, Chen, pull the trigger, right? Look for the hook. Look for something. Because I think if CSUDH just falls back, depending on how the draft goes, I know they're about halfway through right now. If they just lean back, try and farm again, I expect the same thing to happen. They need to be the aggressors either in pick or in their play style, or I think Park Pirates might win in 20, 22 minutes again because the team knows exactly how to handle that mid game.
I believe that one problem that I felt with CSUDH that might have led them to losing the game was they had one type of draft, which was, of course, laying back, not being aggressive, and waiting for the late game, of course, because they had the Jinx, they had the Veigar, they had... What else?
Oh,
the Irelia doesn't really need that much. Like she's more like mid game, but yeah, of course they had hyper carries. Basically, my point. And even though that was the case, for example, in the bot lane, they were pushing so hard. Every time you saw the red team being under the blue tower, and that is not going to help you. It's just going to create opportunities for the jungler, for the enemy jungler to gank you. And on the other hand, when the enemy team was overextending, you didn't see the Zac punishing. You didn't see the jungler being around. And even when they were, they wouldn't engage on it. So I feel like there was a little bit of a hesitation. Maybe there was some fear of the specific lane matchups, that they're not very comfortable against those specific champions. But overall, I think they have to talk. What is the game plan? And knowing that Park Pirates can be good at just silently farming and just going for the end game pretty soon, I think they have to talk. What is the strategy and stick to it? Because if you go for something for the draft and then just change it up, sometimes, most of the times, it might not align.
No, I'm totally with you, because the interesting thing is, you said, they had the Jinx, they had the Veigar, which are late game champions. They had the Zac. He's one of the best early game junglers because he can gank pre-6. He has a Guardian Angel built in to allow him, if he gets caught out, to just come back to life. You had all of these tools to be aggressive early on the jungler, and as you said, we just simply did not see it. Now, of course, trying to gank a Seraphine in the mid lane, almost impossible. Really, that was just fantastic play by Park. Just say, we're going to put Seraphine in the mid, we're going to shut down that lane. But we saw multiple times, Fritz was literally underneath the tower, and he just decided, I don't want to go in on the Zac. I'm going to back off. I really just want to see them, as you said, be a bit more aggressive. But I guess you made a great point, right? You can't draft for late game and then mid game be like, oh, we got to be aggressive all of a sudden. It's just simply not going to work. So I hope they pick a more aggressive team. I think you're right. For Park, I thought they played perfectly, honestly, right? I mean, they tried a very risky play with the Kayn. He tried to go for the red steal. Still somehow ended up ahead of that Zac. Bot lane was phenomenal. I thought the Park Pirates are kind of probably going to sit back, and assuming the Rakan or the Xayah gets banned, might be their only change in their comp.
I think Park Pirates, exactly as you said, they played so well that they can just maintain, lean back, and keep the same game style. And that's what they're going to do. Right now, on the bot lane, they have a Caitlyn and an Ashe, and I know they have very safe bot lanes around there, but this one is just going to be very safe, considering how they've managed the wave throughout the game, how they positioned in the lane. I think Caitlyn and Ashe is the safest pair of hands that they're going to have in Park Pirates' hands, because you have the range on Caitlyn, you have the range on Ashe, you have the slow on Ashe, you have the net on Caitlyn. You literally can just be aware of anything happening. You have a Vi on the other side, good threat. I think that's a nice counter. But at the same time, considering, as I said, how Park Pirates played in the bot lane, I think they are good to go. What are your thoughts on CSUDH's bot lane against the K-Dash composition?
I don't hate it. I think the Karma is a great defensive pick. I expect Rarko to be very aggressive on this Ashe, going to be constantly firing out volleys. Assume the moment he hits 6, that arrow is flying somewhere on the map. So I think the Karma is great disengage. I think the Varus also with the ult, not terrible disengage. As you pointed out, the Caitlyn's going to have superior range. So I don't hate it, and I really like a lot of the matchups that CSUDH has, right? I think the Vi into the Kha'Zix is going to be a great matchup. Vi has a ton of CC to lock down this Kha'Zix, prevent him from popping off in team fights. I think the Sylas is going to have so many fantastic ults to choose from, probably between the Encore and the Ashe Arrow. He is going to have his basically buffet of fantastic ults to suit this team. So I really like what CSUDH did here. I think they drafted a team that can be a bit more aggressive in the early game, and wins or should win a lot of these matchups. What about you, SwiftJ? What do you think for the Park Pirates after their Game 1 win? What do you think about the comp changes that they made and how that'll suit them?
I think they can execute it really well again. They have the Seraphine as they did before. They have the Ornn as they did before. So basically, in the mid lane, safe pair of hands. On the top, safe pair of hands. That can also help you in the late game. Bot lane, as I mentioned, Caitlyn, Ashe, I think they can play it really well because of how they displayed their positioning last game. Kha'Zix, I think, is not my favorite, especially being the last pick like that, especially being the last pick against the Sylas and the Vi. Not that the Sylas is going to be happy to steal the Kha'Zix ultimate, but you're just not going to have a good time against those two champions, are you? Especially against the Mordekaiser as well. So I would have gone for something different on the jungle there, but I want to go on top of what you said for CSU, the Aegis composition. I really like it. This one seems much more cohesive. It feels like the whole team is looking for one purpose, and this time around the purpose is we have a solid early to mid game. Okay? We can gank, we can disengage, we can protect, and we can scale well. So I think this is, well, as good as it can get for CSUDH against this composition for Park Pirates. They are very squishy, so Sylas, as you said, is going to have a buffet not only of ults, but of HP bars as well. So are the Varus arrows, and I believe that CSUDH, at least in the draft, they have a better composition, but it really is going to go down to how this is going to be played, because the highlights for Park Pirates were the management within the match and how they used the draft.
No, the one thing that you said that really stands out to me, that just kind of is just really, it's stuck in my mind, is this Kha'Zix pick. I'm totally with you. There's so many other picks. I look at this team. You're not going to one-shot a Mordekaiser. He's just going to take you to the realm of death and probably destroy you. You're not going to kill a Sylas in one shot. You're not going to kill Vi. Maybe Karma or Varus, but if Karma gets the Mantra Shield off, you're not going to get that one shot unless you get really, really far ahead. So I'm totally with you. I think the Kha'Zix is that one pick for Park Pirates that I'm really holding up on it. Now, if he gets ahead, of course, we all have seen a fed Kha'Zix. He's going to one-shot everything. We're going to look like fools up here on the caster desk. But if he gets behind, I mean, I'm with you. I do not like that B5 Kha'Zix because I just don't see a way where Kha'Zix has an enjoyable game unless he goes more of like a tank Kha'Zix where he evolves his ult, has that damage reduction, but that kind of gets away from the whole spirit of Kha'Zix. So I'm with you. I think that's that one pick where I'm like, could have been better.
Right? I just, in comparison to CSUDH's composition, the Kha'Zix just feels like it's not part of the same line. It doesn't feel like it's part of the same thought. And we might be complete fools, and maybe this person is a complete smurf on Kha'Zix, and they're going to one-shot the Mordekaiser. Who knows? It all depends on how this early game is going to go, if the Vi is going to go for early invades, or if the two junglers are going to meet in the river, if they're going to go for similar pathing in regards to ganking, if it's going to be a level 2 gank or something similar. So I feel like it can be done, but it's definitely a high-risk, high-reward gamble that the Park Pirates are throwing into this game with the Kha'Zix pick, at least for me.
No, totally with you. I do think they do have a lot of nice setup, right? They have the Ashe Arrow, they have the Encore, they have the Call of the Forge God to allow this Kha'Zix to remain hidden. as long as possible. I will say the one thing I want to see CSUDH do is at least try a level 1 invade. It felt like from our point of view in game 1 had the pick. They had the Nautilus. It looked like Rarko on that recon was just going to die or at least have to flash. Didn't even try to engage. I know they don't have great opening CC. You probably have to start with the Abscond on the Silas, maybe follow it up with the Vault Breaker from the Vi, but I want to see CSUDH try and get an early pick. Ashe does not have nearly the survivability of most supports. I think that's the one thing I want to challenge CSUDH to do. Try for that early pick. That might put them far enough ahead for them to be able to snowball in this game, because I think the longer this game stays even early, I think the Park Pirates start to slowly pull ahead, lull us to sleep, and then all of a sudden, bang, we might be done at 22 minutes or so. But I know Game 2's getting ready, Soph-Chan. It feels like we're both on the same page, but I'll put you on the spot once again. Who do you got in Game 2 between the Park Pirates and CSUDH here in our Challengers Pacific Frontier Game 2?
Well, Fish, I think that I'm going to be real and honest with myself. The first game, I really thought that Zyracon was much better. But I love Jinx. I had to be biased for my girl. I kind of felt like you also agreed with me the Zyracon was so much better. I just felt like some variety was going to be good. This time around, I believe that CSUDH has the better composition, and I hope that they have thought about that game plan. I am so on board with you. The level 1 gank, the level 1 meetup, or we might be seeing some skirmishes already. At least some very aggressive warding is already happening. What is that scouting going on there? Park Pirates dealing some damage onto the red team, and I don't think it's going to come out to anything. Or maybe it is. Karma, you might be in a bad spot right now.
Yeah, it looked like we got kind of 2 engages. It looked like CSUDH went in on the bottom side of the map. We saw Park Pirates trying again to get that red buff steal onto Little Asia. Don't know if he'll come back, but yeah, that was some crazy trading. I'm with you, though. I definitely think, at least from the draft, I think this feels like CSUDH's game to lose. I think this draft is set up to succeed, where the last draft, as we said, it looked good, but there were definitely some question marks, especially with that Xayah recon. But we will hop into Game 2 here and find out the Park Pirates in the blue, CSUDH in the red. And after some early trading, we once again will slow the game down. I think keep your eyes on bot lane. That's where all the aggression was. We do see Silas go in, but he will miss the Abscond, so no stun onto the Seraphine.
Yes, no chains are going to wrap up around that superstar this time. But I think that going to the mid lane would be a nice path for the Vi. If you get that Silas ahead, if you get him onto level 6, he can just go roam bot lane or even top. I would go bottom lane, especially because you don't have a dedicated support. You have the Ashe. She is going to try to zone, try to do a little bit of damage, but she is super, super squishy, and she doesn't really provide any sort of peeling or shielding. So I definitely go bottom lane. And if you get the Silas ahead, that is going to be huge for CSUDH this time around. We'll see how that's going to go. And interesting, Park Pirates, instead of being more passive and freezing, they are going for a very, very oppressive push onto this lane. I believe they're already level 2. Yes, they are. And both sides level 2. They're just trying to assert the dominance on the lane, poke, and not let the enemy fall.
I really like what Irusen did as well with this Silas pick, is not only does it fit the comp, but he's just being more aggressive in the mid lane. We talked about it, this Vigar just, there was never an initiative. It felt like we just saw mid lane kind of trading CS back and forth. I like that this Silas is at least trying to find ways, though. There are some fantastic dodges here by the Seraphine on the Park Pirates. We see Fritz and Rarko, though, doing a ton of damage to Junior and Luffy, though Vi down in that area, maybe looking for a mid gank here, though. Irusen gonna throw out the Abscond, trying to find a stun onto the Seraphine, but Seraphine, always safe in the mid lane, just gets back to tower.
Yeah, some very nice dodges coming from Cosmic in there, and I think that Seraphine this time around might be a key to this gameplay once again. Oh, Park Pirates! Look at that. Once again, this team showing how they know how to position around the map. And they knew that at this point, if you find someone alone, if you are a Kha'Zix, their health bar is just going to melt and they're going to have to retreat. So it's very nice to take the advantages and take the very easy rewards that you can get from these skirmishes because you know the potentials and strengths of your champion.
And Park Pirate has done a really good job of just out-farming Little Asia in the jungle. Last game, he was, I think, 2 levels ahead by the time the game ended. He's already got a slight level lead in this early game, level 4, which, of course, we know level 6 for Kha'Zix. Massive for those evolutions here. And right now, he's looking for a gank onto Blood. Nice knockaway, though, on Dagoon. Can Park Pirate finish him off? The minions will stop the isolation damage. So there will not be a kill here up on the top side. Meanwhile, Irusen trying to find anything, but it's like beating against the brick wall with the Seraphine in the mid lane.
Yeah, she's going to be able to just attack you, deal some damage, heal, and shield up. Unless you have at least half a mythic item there, you're not going to be able to solo kill this Seraphine in the mid lane. They're maintaining a very good lead in farm, but Vi is coming around on this one. It might be a certain kill. Ooh!
Gets the flash out. Fantastic job. Pokes right on back onto the Silas. Kaskinen doing a great job in this mid lane. But they got the flash out of the way, right? So now you can come back. And we see bot lane, the weakness of the Ashe. Rarko, low health, forced to back, doesn't have the sustain of the Rakan. It's these little victories right now for CSUDH that they can take solace on. They're slowly but surely staying in this game. And I will say the CS lead in bot and in jungle is nearly 1,000 gold by itself already 6 minutes into the game, which is crazy to think about.
It really is. Really, really is. And I think once again in the bot lane, you have good positioning, but you don't have a Rakan anymore. You have an Ashe. So she's not going to be her full potential. She's not going to be, as every champion gets level 3, you unlock all your QWE abilities. Ashe is just going to be complete when she gets level 6. Unfortunately, she heavily relies on that crystal arrow. And right now, it's still a little bit far. She's level 4. But Fritz doesn't even care. They have good positioning. They know that the jungler is around. And maybe this is going to go good for the blue team.
Ooh, Park Pirate gets ignited. He has to get away. I think a little bit over-aggression for the Park Pirates themselves as well as the Kha'Zix. And no, I think you made a great point. This Ashe, I mean, all you're doing is kind of getting volley damage at this point. Every time you level up, you're not getting that much more sustain. I will say the one thing for CSUDH, they need to prepare for level 6. I feel like the moment Rarko is level 6 with the way he played last game, that Enchanted Crystal Arrow is flying out as fast as he can level that skill up. And with the health bars right now, that's a kill onto one of the members. They need to be ready. As soon as they hit 6, just flash in a different direction. Meanwhile, speaking of flash, there's no flash on the mid laner. Encore going to be stolen away, thrown right back, but this could be first blood. And it is for Irusen finally getting one onto the Seraphine in the mid lane.
A lovely comeback from CSUDH on this one, especially from Little Asia 1. It was very crucial to see that jungler being active in the last game. So they are making it up this time around, especially with Irusen in the mid with the Silas. You're going to have a lot of potential coming out of that one. 8 health. Oh no! Oh, they waited very patiently there. Good job from Park Pirates as well, retaliating and getting the buffs for themselves. Especially with the first strike, you're going to get a lot from all of that.
Yeah, as you said, fantastic job. Waited for red buff to die, get the free isolation damage. And that Kha'Zix, as we all know, as everyone who's ever played League of Legends has felt, when you're isolated Kha'Zix, you're just dead. In the jungle, there's no escaping him. So a fantastic job. Though this game, again, a little bit closer. I think the Silas playing very well. It does look like Ashe very close to level 6. So keep your eye out for those Ashe arrows as Irusen trying his best, but none of this damage is sticking in the mid lane.
Yeah, not just yet. They only have 2 elements of items in their pocket. Oh, was it a steal there? No, it wasn't.
He put him in the death realm, though. Park Pirate is in the death realm, but Blood not able to get a single point of damage off. Call the Forge God going to come in. Might land the double knockup. Junior is going to get knocked up. Blood forced to flash way over the wall. Goes Park Pirate. Root going to land. This should be a free kill onto the Mordekaiser, and it is. Meanwhile, bot lane Rarko going to throw out the exhaust onto Little Asia 1. The Ashe not quite level 6. So they're able to disengage, but no kills for CSUDH as they lose one topside.
Yeah, with the pressure of the blue team now on the Herald, that's going to be an easy catch for them. In the bot lane, Little Asia is going for this ADC. Fritz might be overexposed. They are very, very far into this turret. Nice damage, and a flash forward from Karma is going to get them down with the Ignite as well. But the ace in the hole is going to come as an equalizer in kills. Flash! It's for the outplay, right? But you're gonna die anyway. Silas is there, and you can't escape the chains.
Yeah. Hats off to Fritz, as you said. The outplay was phenomenal on the flash, but as you properly predicted, there's no way he was going to get away from Irusen, so the fancy feet all in vain. So 2 kills picked up bot side for CSUDH. They do lose their ADC. It's a great ace in the hole. Picks that one up, and again, this Ashe not level 6 is a great job by CSUDH playing around, forcing Rarko. He just now finally leveled up, and we'll see if that Ashe arrow goes flying off. We do have a jungle attempt here on the dragon, at least for Park Pirate. Little Asia 1 is in the vicinity. Maybe going to go for a smite steal. Luffy there as well. Both junglers baiting it out, but Kha'Zix outplays that one very easily.
That was really nice, and the Crystal Arrow also prepared. Aiming to the face of that built-over Enforcer was really good. The timing wasn't quite there, but the intention was, which I really appreciate. The timing, though, was great for Park Pirates on the secure, on the smite, and the leap away behind the pit. So well executed. And that's one thing that we have seen a lot from Park Pirates as well. Very good micro all around. If you see a fancy flash going on, it's probably from Park Pirates. And at this point, they are still maintaining a little bit of a lead in regards to gold, but we still have to be careful and acknowledge that there is a Silas. He is 2-0, and he has finally finished his first item.
Yeah, this Silas is going to... We both talked about it in the draft. The Silas, a fantastic pick, though. As we highlight him, Park Pirate here to shut him down and maybe shut us up on this Silas pop-up. Massive isolation damage. Can he get in range to the Vi? Force to flash away. Encore is going to go out. That should be enough to pick up the kill, and it is! So Park Pirate picks one up for his team. A fantastic Encore to guarantee the kill.
Yes, very, very nicely played, especially when you still have a couple of minutes left for the platings. You have your jungler with the Herald. That is very well chained for the blue team. Park Pirates are going to get a lot of gold from this one. It's going to be shared between the two players. The turret is not going to go down just yet. Oh, Little Asia is going to go in for this one. A lot of damage from the turret on Park Pirates. Maybe that's going to be enough. Oh, there we go. You have a smite finishing off the Herald to gain a little health for Little Asia, and they are still upstanding. No kills for the blue team, but still a very nice attempt from both sides.
Blood was walking down. Stopped for the River Scuttle, but now he's going to continue his trek down into the mid lane. You see the pings come out. They want to find a kill, but it doesn't matter. Little Asia 1 is dead before Mordekaiser makes it on the screen. Oh, a terrible turn of events for CSUDH. They lose their jungler on a solo kill. And unfortunately, it's looking a lot like game number 1, Sofchan. Lane slowly falling apart all over the place for the red team.
That is indeed very unfortunate. One thing that we said that might happen and suddenly did is a 3-0 Kha'Zix with the Umberglaive, with the 350 gold bounty to their name. And definitely don't like that if you're an ADC. You don't like that if you are a Karma. But at least the rest of the team, they are confident that with a Mordekaiser, with the Silas, and with the Vi, they are able to at least maintain the fight going for longer. In the late game, shall it continue for that much more. And for the side of Pirates, they want this to finish quick, just like it did in the last game.
And they're set up in a great spot to do so, right? They're going to get potentially 5 plates mid, depending on how hard Seraphine wants to push in the next minute and 15 seconds. They potentially might get 5 plates bottom side here as well. They are set up in a good spot. Now, as you said, we are both like, the Kha'Zix is not a good pick. The Kha'Zix is not a good pick. And what does he do? 3-0. He's going to be an issue. The Dark Steel with 4 stacks as well for the Seraphine. I think the Dark Steel was a little late last game. He was already like 3-0-5 by the time he bought it. So that's going to be a problem. But now, Little Asia 1 looking for a gank. Finally might find something on to Seraphine. The ult going to be stolen. Encore going to come out. Can't quite outranges. There's the Abscond Duck. But here's the Ash Arrow.
Wow.
A perfect stun from Rarko.
Fish? Wow. Oh. That's the one thing that you said that worked out so well. The crystal arrows from across the map, but the ultimate onto the Seraphine flash forward, and the last hit is going to guarantee the kill on this one. Park Pirates have to retreat. Great job and comeback from Little Asia 1. But oh my god, that play, if we had a replay, I really love to see that one, because the flash combined with the crystal arrow alongside the snare with Seraphine, that was really satisfying to see. But Little Asia didn't even care Irusin either, and they went on the Seraphine, took that one down, and another kill for either the jungler or the mid laner of CSUDH is going to work for days.
Unfortunately, the Park Pirates have kind of had this trend where they make this insane dodge. We saw it with Fritz in the bot lane, and then they end up dying anyway. I think Park Pirate on the Kha'Zix maybe, in the comms, he's fed. He's like, we could take him, and couldn't quite take him in that mid lane 2v2. But now he's got the Duskblade at 14 minutes. This Kha'Zix, as you said, in particular, Junior and Luffy better watch out, because they're in that sweet range where if they're isolated, that's like borderline one-shot range for a Kha'Zix right now.
It really is. It really, really is. Oh, one last shot. Oh, the flash forward from Karma is not going to hit because they end up missing the shot very close. Luffy's no, the flash forward. Why would you flash in a straight line? Why? No.
We do see the ult going to be stolen there by Irusin, and Rarko's going to flash this one sideways. Here comes Park Pirate. Good night, Junior. This Kha'Zix, we talked about it, incredibly fed. Looking for one more. Does have to be careful. There's not a lot of sustain from his teammates. But Little Asia 1 just taking a ton of damage. One more auto attack should finish him off. Flash forward from Fritz. Gonna pick up the kill. Irusin trying to get onto Rarko. Rarko trying to kite backward on the Ash. Can't quite find it. Teleport coming in from Blood on the Mordekaiser. Here is the Seraphine. Flash Q misses. Park Pirates are dodging literally everything right now, and Blood is just simply going to be kited out by the Encore. He tried so hard, but Park Pirates have dodged every ability so far, I don't know how you counter that. They just seem to know where you're going to attack from and just dodge it.
Yeah, sometimes it really does look scripted, doesn't it, Fish? They tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Park Pirates really displaying a lot of skill on those micro plays. On the flashes in particular, all the flash plays have been very on point for all the players on the blue side. And I really respect CSUDH because they have been super proactive from the last game comparative. And this time around, it's just paying off, because at least if you go for it from an early stage, you have more chances of succeeding. Last time around, the mistake was trying to go aggressive when there was already 15 minutes of the game already rolling on. This time around, the aggression is paying off, even though sometimes it doesn't work that much. Makes the enemy feel a little more pressured, and it's gonna get those flashes out, even though sometimes they are very beautiful. We have seen the Park Pirates can't nail every single escape as much as they dodge. Sometimes you're just going to get kited out, you're just going to get finished off or ulted by the Vi, and targeted ulti is gonna do that to you. You can't really escape. Very nice from CSUDH, Fish. What do you think right now is a perspective for this team, for these two teams? Because I feel like it feels balanced, but Park Pirates is still almost 10k ahead.
I'm totally with you. I looked up at the gold and I was like, really? It's that big of a difference? I think for the Park Pirates, as you pointed out, their flashes have saved them multiple. I mean, this could easily be like a 5-10 in the other direction if those flashes had been mistimed. So for Park, that has just allowed them once again to build this very large gold lead, especially in the mid and the bot lane. It's over 40 CS for both of them. And for CSUDH, I think, as you point out, they continue to be aggressive, which we talked about, we asked for in the draft. And that's the great thing about Flash if the other team's using it well. It's on a very long cooldown. They can't always flash away in that next team fight. As we see right here, there's no flash up for the Seraphine. Irusen should be able to... I thought he could have taken him there, but I guess showing some respect, Park Pirate going to jump onto Blood in the Realm of Death. This Kha'Zix 4-0-3. I think it's about to be 5-0-3. Good night. Meanwhile, we still continue this bot lane fight between the mid laners, and Irusen should be able to get this one. One more auto attack. He cancels the auto.
Good lord.
No.
Oh no, the fruit.
No.
The fruit.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, good lord, Irusen. It felt like one of those games that last 50 minutes and they don't finish off the Nexus. It just felt like that one, but I'm very happy Irusen guaranteed that one on Seraphine. Very deserved 4-2-1. The Silas had been crucial for the comp of CSUDH. But one thing that we mentioned in the draft was, if Kha'Zix gets into the Shadow Realm, they're gonna die. Well, turns out Mordekaiser is the one dying this time around. If you have a 5-0-3, 650 gold bounty, Kha'Zix on your side.
Ooh, Park Pirate and Goon are both here. Double call the Forge God gonna come out here. Knock up 3 from Goon, knock up 1 from Irusen. Park Pirate trying to get away. Goon might win this 1v3. The health bars are very low. Oh, is Little Asia one gonna rock right back into Kha'Zix? Luckily, gonna queue away. Meanwhile, mid lane turret does go down. Teleport coming out here from Seraphine. No encore available, but the healing and the shields could be huge. Park Pirate looking for the isolation damage. Can't quite find it. Can Seraphine get in range for the heal in time? Yes, she can.
Oh my
and
God.
Irusen goes down. What a fantastic teleport there from the Park University mid laner.
Koskinen really showing how it's done on this one. Oh, it was close. Okay, it was close. It would have been a double kill. It would have. But the Karma Jr. rest in peace. The support standing in front of their ADC saves the Varus one more time. But gosh, the Seraphine teleport not only going in from the base, flashing forward, getting the timing perfect with your boosteds, so you get the healing, not just the shielding from your ability, and the Kha'Zix as well, waiting in the shadows, being stealth until they were able to attack because of the healing. Very, very well timed.
Park, I don't know how the Park Pirates are. They're everywhere they need to be, Sophie, and it absolutely blows my mind. As I don't know if that's a fight they win. Ash Arrow's going to come out, but a bit late. It just missed. But the teleports are on point. The flashes are on point. They're slowly cracking their way into base. There is no mid inhibitor turret. So a chance if they win one more fight to really bust down the base. So there will not be a Shelly. We have used both of our Rift Heralds this time for the side of Park University. And meanwhile, we get another battle of the mid laners. Encore going to come out first here from Seraphine. The response misses from Irusen. Didn't even need the flash. Just what a fantastic dodge.
That was very well predicted, Fish. And we have to highlight it every time, don't we? It's gonna get a little boring for everything. we have to dab. That dab was for Seraphine, and it is for all the dodges, for the fancy feet that fancy pirates that Park Pirates have been able to manage this series tonight, Fish. And well, we are still 30 seconds for the first Baron of the game. We're waiting for it. It doesn't look like anyone is much interested in it. Everyone is on this side of the map, closer to the bottom. There's still more than a minute for the Drake, so I believe they would reposition. At least to get some wards. We're not expecting anyone to go full deep on going for a Baron call right now. But maybe a bait in a Baron call. Maybe just gathering the vision would be a good call. And there's a lot of possibilities that can go right. And unfortunately, they are not really quite getting there for CSUDH.
I think if CSUDH gets set up around this dragon, which they did get the River Scuttle, so they'll have that passive ward here for the next minute to be able to kind of keep that unwarded. I think that maybe CSUDH can hold the line. We are going to see an ace in the hole come flying out from Fritz just for the bonus damage, nothing more. Oh no, the shop is open! Little Asia one gonna close it, but...
Oh no!
Ooh. I thought for sure that was a shop window open death. Luckily saw it in time, but I thought Park Pirate could have killed him. He seemed a little hesitant there. But now with the jungler forced to back, this should be a free... It's a Cloud Drake, unfortunately. Can't get too excited about that if you're Park, but this should be free for there to be set up right now.
Oh, Fish, that was so funny. That was very funny. Oh, the dash into the wall. Okay, so actually the chain was the shop open, into the dash into the wall, into the panic flash. It was just a very chaotic chain of events, but at least they survived. Good for CSUDH on that one. Because if you give another kill for the Kazakhs, it's just gonna snowball even more. He's coming in into stealth, coming in for the backstab. Here he goes.
Oh, he's trying to jump onto Junior. Junior's going to flash away. Everyone turns onto the Kha'Zix, but Fritz picks up the first one. Kha'Zix is in the death realm. Blood dueling him here. Seraphine going to pick up another kill. Now his team has got to turn around and help him. He's out of the death realm, but smashed down. The Obliterate from Blood picks up a kill. Little Asia one incredibly low. There is no ace in the hole, however, for Caitlyn to pick up the kill. Rarko got to be careful. Blood gonna get slowed by these arrows, but it looks like the rest of Park more interested in maybe finishing off that mid inhibitor. And this support Ashe slowly trying to pick up the kill, has to flash away from the E. Blood gonna flash away as well. Volley misses. Fritz and Seraphine have not really cared about the rest of their poor support is in a 1v2, and they just want the mid inhibitor.
Yes, they are. They're gonna take it down really, really easily. Well, actually, in a very smart play from Rako there, they're gonna be able to not only stop two very important recalls that had to be there to defend the middle lane, but as well, it was very close to getting a kill. Not only that, and Flash to just top off the cake. A flash and a teleport to top off the cake there. The cherry is going to be delicious.
Oh, we're gonna get Fritz picks up one. Oh, what a flash over the wall! No, Irusin! Oh no, why did he do him dirty like that? Little Asia one will survive. Luffy not going to be able to finish him off. Blood now full HP with the teleport, but Fritz once again with a fantastic flash net over the wall. So shit, they're dodging everything. I don't know what to tell you for CSUDH. You're playing perfectly. Your opponents just know exactly where to dodge.
Yeah, they're doing some pretty great timing, some pretty great predictings. And right now, if you wanted the Mordekaiser to be the one dealing damage, well, he's not. We saw the Ashe being so good on him, but they don't care about going on 1v1s. They're going to go for big team fights.
Oh, Park Pirates he's back. The Kha'Zix is here. He picks up one. Fritz and Seraphine pick up another. Potentially could have looked to end the game with this super minion. It's only Junior alive for the next second, but instead they're going to back away. Teleport here going to come out from the Seraphine. We'll see if Park University wants to finish off the 22-minute game 2. Oh, goodbye, Karma. Irusin misses as well, and as soon as Kha'Zix's cooldowns are back, he should be able to one-shot this Silas. Meanwhile, Nexus turret number 1, the focus of Rarko and Fritz. Irusin trying to throw out the call of the Forge God. He's going to go down. It's an ace, and game 2 in 23 minutes goes over to Park University with the clean 2-0 sweep in the Challengers Pacific Frontier.
Park University Pirates, please give me some lessons real quick.
Yes.
Just give me some lessons real quick in dodging, predicting, because all of those were so on point. It wasn't just the fancy feat, it was the flashes, it was the predictions with the arrows, with the encores, with hell, if we had a Silas on the hands of Park University Pirates, I think they would have predicted just everything. You know, those big 5-hat plays where you steal one of the abilities to get something going on into your team fight that is just so out of the box. I think they could pull it off. If there is one team that would well execute a very interesting comp like that, it would be Park University Pirates. Congratulations, such a clean series.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know about you, Sofchan, but everything we talked about for CSUDH, I think they did in game 2. This was this was one of the few times it felt like Park just played so perfect. I don't think CSUDH could have done anything more. Every engage was on point, but there was a flash, a 90 caliber net, as you pointed out, an encore right back. It just felt like Park University simply could not be hit at all. So big props to CSUDH. You fixed everything we asked of you in game 2, but that might be the best game I've ever seen a team play on the NECC for Park University. Hands down. I don't know what to say they didn't do right. Everything was so good.
Hands down. I agree. Gosh, Fish. Yeah.
I've never seen every time. I'm just like, there's no way he dodged it. Even when they died, they made it look cool, right?
It's true.
Even when they died, I'm like, I'm more impressed with the flash dodge than I am that he died. Like what? Like
yeah.
It's like you should let him live.
So true. Oh, it's like the respect when you see someone just playing so well, 1v5ing, and then you are the last one that would give him the penta, and you're just like, here, I deliver myself to you because you deserve the penta. It's just like the same feeling. Yo, that dodge was so good. I'm just gonna go back to base, alright? I'm just gonna farm real quick. You don't deserve to die. Guys, I agree with that. Spot on, Fish. Oh my god, every single time. So at one point, we were just expecting them to miss, right?
Yeah.
I was expecting them to miss because the dodges were so on point. That is insane control and micro. And not only that, the communication with the team was excellent because every time you saw something that might not look that great for them on one side of the map, the other side was doing well.
Totally agree. And of course, we have some crow for dinner tonight because Park Pirate popped off on that Kha'Zix. I think 7-1, if not more. End of the game, he was one-shotting everything. You and I didn't think it was going to work, and he said, hey, sit back and watch. But congratulations to the Park Pirates. They pick up another win. Again, now 3-0 as far as we know here in the NECC. CSUDH, they do fall to 2-3, but I don't know. Again, you got to hang your head high because it was just felt like a perfect game. That'll do it for myself and Sofchan here tonight on the NECC for League of Legends. I do believe we have some more League of Legends action going on the second channel for the NECC. If that didn't satisfy your need for amazing dodges, I don't know. I don't know how you can enjoy League of Legends after that. It was so perfect. But that'll do it for us. We'll see you guys next week with some more League of Legends action.